All right, guys, one last thing I want to show you. This is for getting the vertical put spread. So that way, when implied volatility is high, like I said right here, and you're trying to dip buy right here, instead of getting a call option down here, while implied volatility is high and those options are expensive, and you start getting IV crushed because of this happening, right? What's better is you get the vertical put spread, okay? Now, the way to get the vertical put spread, I'm gonna show you right now. This is what I'm gonna show you here. Let's go back to the TD Ameritrade. So we go to TD Ameritrade right here, and we're going on an option chain, okay? First thing I want to do, for example, I'm gonna go to options. Obviously, I'm looking at the IV. First, I'm looking at the IV. I'm looking at the chart. I'm looking somewhat like, let me see here. Looking somewhat like right here, like right when it dips, where I got it right here. This is where I got my call options, but also I should have got put options, but implied volatility was high, okay? Implied volatility was high right here, especially on the bounce right here. Where this day we bounced, IV was still high. So if IV was still high, I'd go to the options here, right? We had it at 500%. I would have seen 500% right here on the upper left corner, right underneath chart, right? Now, I say no more than a maximum of 30 days. I kind of broke the rule. I kind of got an option that was more than 30 days a little bit because I want to collect more premium. But what I did was, this is like a real life put spread that I have on right now because we're stuck in a position right now. So we're stuck at the bottom, but I caught it on high IV. Now, what I did was I shorted this put. I'm on the right side. If you can see that little flag, that means it's put. If it was on the left side of that 63, that means it's call, okay? So that red little flag, I shorted this put. The way you short a put, you don't hit this one, okay? Because you see that plus sign up top? That means you're buying the put. I touched this one because now it's negative. I'm shorting that put, okay? So this is buying. This is shorting. Why? Look at the upper column. It says bid, ask, okay? The way TD Ameritrade is set up, you have to hit the bid to short it, okay? So I got a negative 63 put. I'm also, what I did was I went all the way up here. Remember, I'm borrowing $21.25. That means I'm borrowing $2,125, okay? I'm also buying this put option here. You see the flag's on the right side. It's on the right column. I'm buying this put here. Okay, so I create the vertical spread. That means out of this $2,125 that I collected as money, I'm gonna be paying $217, $262.17. And if you look here, if I go to next, you can see right here, it says vertical on the spread. It says vertical AMC. It's a put, okay? The 63 is in the money. Why? Because the put is in the money at 63. AMC is underneath 63. But I'm also long a 28 put, which is out of the money, okay? The long put, the one that's the plus sign, is to protect me in case AMC goes down, okay? If AMC goes down, right, that short put's not going to make money, but the long put's going to make money. And that long plus one that's going to make money is my protection to the downside. I'm paying for that protection out of my credit that I received. You can see it says -1, which means I shorted, basically more short than long. So I receive a credit of 1,942. I didn't receive the full 2,000 credit because I had to pay for that long put for protection, okay? Now, I can't scroll down because it's sensitive information, but you can see it's a credit, not a debit. If I were to buy, I would have turned it to buy. Now I have to pay. See, cost of trade, I have to pay $1,946, okay? If I sell it, I receive, okay? Doesn't mean I'm losing. I'm receiving $1,942, okay? Remember, I'm buying, that's a debit, okay? I'm selling something I don't have, that's a credit, all right? Also, if I already have this position open, this can also be me closing the position because I already have this position open already. So if I go right now, right? Remember, that vertical spread that I had, all right? If I go and I buy this vertical spread, that will close out the original vertical put spread I had. The reason being is because I received the credit, right, previously of like that much, right? But as the vertical spread gets cheaper, I don't have to pay anything back, but I have to buy it at a lower price, okay? Because it's a short position. So I have to buy it cheaper. So I would have to get it at, let's say $5. I'd make a profit of $5 because that means I only have to pay back 500, let's just say, right? The lower I have to pay back, the better when I buy the cover, okay? So I received $1,900 credit. I'm only going to pay back $501 for that vertical spread, okay? So if you do the math, if you take away that 1,900 minus 501, that's how much profit you're going to make, all right, out of the trade, unless you hold it to expiration and the vertical spread is worthless. And if they're both worthless, you collect that whole $1,900 premium. Yeah, the put goes worthless, but the short put goes worthless also. And you don't have to pay anything, okay? So in this scenario, all right, remember, even when you're selling a put, right? Let's say you shorted a put, right? If you buy a call, you're zeroed out. So you're zeroed out. That means you don't have no position. When you have no position, you close the position. If you sell 2 call options, but you buy 1, you're still short 1 call option. Okay? That means you're still short 1 call option. All right? So it's just like buying 2 calls and then selling 2 calls. Okay? If you buy 2 calls and then only sell 1 call, you still got 1 call open. But in this scenario, it's the same thing with the vertical put spread. I shorted 1 vertical put spread, okay? Remember, it's a vertical put spread, but it's a credited, okay? That means it's shorted. It's a credit vertical put spread, okay? Not a debit vertical put spread, okay? A debit vertical put spread would look something like this, okay? It would look something like this. I would have bought this and I would have sold this, okay? So I would have had to pay $2,180 and I would have had to sell $1,099, okay? So basically, I'm paying a lot right here and I'm only selling, I'm only, shorting and out of the money to offset some of the costs. So I'm basically taking $200 away from that expensive option. So since I'm paying more than I'm receiving, it's a debit, okay? It's a debit because I'm paying more than I'm receiving. If I'm borrowing more than I'm paying, it's a credit. So if I'm borrowing more than I'm paying, okay, it's a credit. And you'll see when I come up here, it's a credit. But if I go and let's do it again. If I go and I buy if I'm buying more than I'm receiving in credit, it's a debit. You see, it's showing me as a buy. But if you go and switch this to a sell, you see how the ones, how they change? They change for a reason. Okay? Because one's a credit and one's a debit. So every time you're going to short something, like you're shorting a vertical, you're receiving the credit and you're trying to give back as little as possible because you want the options to become worthless. If you're buying, okay, you want your options to be worth more money. You're right? You want that vertical spread to be worth more money, okay? You would only use a debit spread in a scenario where you can't afford the option. Something like Amazon, where it's effing expensive, okay? If we were to go look at Amazon, right? Let's type in Amazon. Yeah, I'll tell you right now. So this is Amazon, right? This is a 30-day. All right. Amazon contracts are extremely expensive. All right. If I wanted to go, let's say, buy, I want Amazon to go up, right? Let's just say, and I wanted to buy this at the money. Look how much it's gonna cost me. Almost 10 grand for that $96 option. Okay, it's gonna cost me close to 10 grand. Now, if I were to cheapen this, well, let's say I were to buy this at the money, right? And I were to, let's say, sell this out of the money, right? That's still a debit spread because I'm buying more than I'm receiving. So guess what? I bet you it's gonna turn green. You see? It turned green. I'm paying. Okay? It offset the cost. It only cost me 3 grand. But what happens when I take away and I don't short this? I have to pay the full $11,000. No way. I'm not doing that. Why? Why should I do that? You know? I don't want to do that. So now let's say in a different scenario. Let's say I wanted to short it. Let's say if I short it. Let's say I wanted to short here, short this call. Remember, there's a bearish strategy because you're betting on it going down. This is a vertical call spread, but it's a vertical call credit spread, okay? Vertical meaning it's on the same call side, because if this is not a vertical, okay? This is a vertical because it's all on one side, all right? Vertical call, because it's call options. Spread, okay? Spread being that, you know, you have more than one option, okay? So you got a shorted call here, all right? I'm receiving more than I'm paying out, okay? And so I got this short. Let's just say I get this one, because remember, shorted calls, you want to make sure you get them out of the money. You don't want them in the money because you'll get assigned negative 100 shares because of the delta, okay? And I'll show you the delta in a second. Actually, let's go to it right now. You go to it right now. If you were to short this call option, that's not going to work. Well, it's only going to show you the positive delta, but if you go and you short that, but you also buy here, right? Let's just say you're paying. See what I'm saying? You're paying less, but you're receiving more. So that is a debit spread. So you go here. See, I'm receiving credit. Now, let's say I were to not pay this. I'm going to receive the whole $74,000. That's basically a naked call right there. This is what, you know, the hedge funds, like, you know who is doing to AMC right now, okay? Look at that. That's the full 7 grand, okay? That's how much you'd make, all right? Now, I'm going to show you how a vertical spread would look like on the chart, in a profit chart, later videos. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.